What do you think will happen in the next 100 years? What changes will happen to the planet? What will happen to the countries around the world? Who would be a global superpower? And why will a few places around the world be extremely dangerous? So let's pack up and go 100 years into the future. A lot of different things can happen in 100 years. Our population is going to continue to grow. Don't even talk about technology. Year by year, it's getting more insane, and until 100 years, it's probably going to be unbelievable. The technology is going to get so advanced that we could easily cure diseases and help out a lot of disabled people. But the technology we're going to be facing might create different types of viruses that we've never seen before or have never battled it. We can't really predict the future, but we can have different ideas on what will happen. Let's go forward 4 years, year 2025. This year, China's population will be surpassed by India, and that means India will have more than 1,440,000,000 people. In this year, the ice is gonna keep on melting, and it's gonna hurt the conditions for polar animals. Something else that's important that's gonna happen in that year is that the Voyagers that we know and love are gonna be shut off because the radio waves will be shut off. We've talked a lot about Voyagers on this channel, and you know what they're carrying and what the mission is. But we have to know this, that the Voyagers aren't gonna stop working, especially in only 100 years. They're gonna keep going and going. It's good to know that in 40,000 years, it's just gonna reach the first star closest to our sun. So 100 years is cake for them. So we're not gonna be in contact with them anymore, unless we create something insane and pass them. But let's go forward 5 more years, the year 2030. In this year, something good will happen, and that's when malaria won't be a thing anymore. It's good to know that in the year 2017 alone, 260 million people got malaria. So getting rid of it is going to be very helpful. There's a bad prediction about California. They say around 2030, one of California's faults will go active, and that's the San Andreas fault. They say this thing hasn't gone off in so long that if it goes off, there will be an earthquake of the magnitude of at least 8, and it will kill thousands of people. But let's go a little bit forward, the year 2050. In this era, most of the work is going to be done by robots. In hospitals, except the doctors, every worker is going to be a robot. In factories, times that by 100. Robots are going to retire humans because soldiers are going to be robots, police are going to be robots, and workers were replaced a long time ago. Something good that will happen in those years is that electricity will be harvested with clean energy, basically water, air, and solar. The year 2060 is the year that Earth's average temperature will rise by 3 degrees centigrade. And this will happen if we slow down the carbon emissions, at least keeping it to a minimum. With this temperature change, the sea levels will for sure rise, and cities like Miami and New York will either have to leave or build a wall in front of them. Around the year 2060, you could go to the doctors and have your arms or legs replaced with robotic arms. That means the technology will get so advanced that the fake arm will be stronger and more accurate than the real arm. Something like this is amazing for disabled people, but I'm not sure if people will cut their arm off for a prosthetic. Let's go to the year 2090. In this year, no animal will be killed for their meat, but all the meats will be processed in laboratories and be sold in the store. They're working on lab meats right now and they've created some, but in that era, it's gonna be way more advanced than today. And that means if you want a filet mignon, you could basically create it in a laboratory. So a good thing is that in that era, you won't see slaughterhouses like you see today. Something else that will happen is that languages will start to die out, at least the smaller ones, and Mandarin and English will be the main languages in the world. And in third place, really smaller than these two, will be the Spanish language. In the year 2100, Earth will be in the humans' hands. What does that mean? That means we'll get to know Earth so well that we could predict bad things that are gonna happen and prevent them. So we got to the 100-year mark, the year 2121. In this year, not only do we know the Earth exactly, but we will get to know ourselves very well. And that's the brain. We could upload the brain onto a computer and put programs on it. You could kind of say goodbye to death, because their brain and conscience is still gonna be living. And in a digital world, their thoughts are alive. Only their body is dead, kinda like the Matrix. These predictions we explained to you guys were written by scientists, and they believe these things will happen around these times. Predicting the future is extremely difficult, but these ideas are good to know and cool to know. Or maybe something insane will happen and it will change the course of everything. And this could happen with the James Webb Telescope, a time machine telescope that was launched yesterday. Let's see what you guys have to say. Please comment and let us know, what do you think will happen in the next 100 years?